Welcome to Mangal Earth podcast, where our efforts aim to create Mangal on Earth and Earth on Mars. I am your host Bhuvan Verma. Today we have for you Shakti Kumar, our founder and CEO of OrbitAID Aerospace. Hello Shakti, how are you?
Hi, Bhuvan. Thank you. I'm fine. How are you? How about you?
Thank you very much for coming on board to speak with our audience and to explain to them the efforts that you are making, the strides that you are making, the leaps that you are making in the space realm. All right. Shakti, when we were talking earlier, you spoke about on orbit refueling for satellite sustainability. Now, satellite sustainability is literally unheard of. All we see is streaking lines of crashing satellites as soon as they run out of their fuel. Tell us, why does Orbit Aid contribute towards sustainability of satellites? How does it do that?
What we are doing is why OrbitAID is entering into this on-orbit refueling. So as you know that whatever the satellite is launching from here, it is most of the satellites is actually or 50% of the satellite is pushed into junket orbit due to the fuel depletions. To avoid that one, to extend that life of the satellites, what we are doing is actually we will come up with a solution, life extension for the satellite, so that the satellite can be sustainable in orbit, in space itself. So for that, we are coming up with the on-orbit refueling. So we have our patented solution, which will extend the life of the satellites in orbit, existing satellites also, upcoming satellites also.
What are the steps that Orbit Aid is taking to help mitigate environmental costs? What are you doing to do that, or how is the scene going to change with your intervention?
We are doing is we can reduce that debris generations basically. So that is a launch cost is decreasing and a number of launches are increasing. So that is a satellites are flooded in the space itself, and small satellites can be deorbited or re-entry to this orbit or burn into this atmosphere. But what happened to these bigger satellites? What happened? So instead of that putting into the junket or so we can extend it, and they were customers wanted to replace that satellites. So instead of that replacement satellite, we can extend the life of the satellite. So what we are doing, so we can extend the life of the satellite so that it's reduce the debris generation.
Shakti, you spoke about debris. It's a very critical issue, right? We have our own national program to take care of the satellite debris by shooting at it. But you are saying, let's not get to that stage. Let's be intelligent about reusing, a mantra that our country is also following. So why not refuel, the the facilities we have in space, maybe extend the life of the international space station also. I don't know. Through your help, it's a fantastic idea you have. But in doing all of this, Shakti, I see a service sector evolving. I see that this is beyond refueling. Can you tell us your views how OrbitAid offers a range of in-space technologies that will help this satellite servicing industry?
So let's say there is lots of satellites are coming up and it is required on-orbit servicing. So to begin with, that is the heart of the on-orbit servicing is on-orbit refueling. So if you do that on-orbit servicing or you have to do that maintenance or assembly, you need the fuels. You need definitely it's a fuel. So you have to go different orbit definitely. So it is needed that fuel. So OrbitAID is actually come up with a patented solution which can be it is a docking and refueling, dual docking and refueling mechanism, which
Wow.
is extended that life of the satellites for the to enable the on-orbit servicings. So, for example, if you are coming, that is the satellites wanted to do that servicing, or existing satellites or upcoming satellite or in space something, ISS something, so are in cislunar activities. So it is records of fuels. So using that our interface or using that our tanker satellites, they can extend the life of the satellite and do that, and they can reduce the debris generation.
You have done a lot of background preparation to enable this kind of intervention to happen. You've got the software and the hardware part sorted. You've got patents for these activities. Tell us that are there aspects of your technology that could have potential applications in the field of, let's say, better environmental monitoring or disaster response or telecommunications? I know it's just a refueling station, but you are extending the reach of our existing infrastructure. So any thoughts on that, please?
Yes, we can help or we can support for that. As you said, there's disaster management and telecommunication customers, but directly not. But we can definitely support for them. So extending that life, or so let's say there is a costly satellites, so $450 million satellites with a small payload or a bigger payload. So that instead of that one, they can reduce the fuel capacity and increase that the payload capacity and increase the life of the satellites. So that kind of way we can extend it. We can support them in other all the sector, all the verticals, definitely.
The word that you said, improving payload capacity. Payload
Yes.
capacity is not between just 2 points which are start and the destination, but payload capacity is also when you're transferring goods from your own transfer pod to an existing facility. This is a growing ecosystem, Shakti. This is a
Yes,
growing
yes.
ecosystem. How do you see your innovations influencing the trajectory of space exploration and satellite communication, and what steps are being taken to ensure that a lasting positive impact comes? It happens quickly. What are those steps that you are undertaking?
So as I mentioned, is actually that is increasing the payload or increasing reducing the fuel capacity. When you are increasing the payload, definitely you can increase your or extended your additional revenue. You can increase your revenue. So what are the steps we can take it actually? Let's say we are influencing. We are talking to all the satellite operators, satellite telecommunication operators, and the space agency and debris removal vehicles and adapting our technologies, adapting our interfaces. So whatever the satellite launching here, it is a one-time usable. So we are breaking into, it is not one-time usable, we can use it for multiple times. So we are breaking that accessibility. So there is no inaccessibility there. Now we are coming up the accessibility in space itself. So we giving that our interfaces, so adapt to our technology and influence them and do that coming up open for that on-orbit refueling mechanism, on-orbit servicing market.
Have you reached out to the SpaceX's and the NASA's of the world, the ISRO's of the world? Who are your partner organizations that you want to work with you?
Okay, definitely it is a defense and space agency, and we are not started with the SpaceX or NASA. Definitely, we are going to approach them and in upcoming days, and we are working with some other European and Asian operators, satellite operators, and agency also.
Right. So a big shout out to all these present and potential partners from Shakti. Let's get on it. Let's get the funding going. Let's get the work going. Let's have some prototypes going so that we can quickly implement all of these things that Shakti has just mentioned.
Are launching our first docking and refilling mechanism, refilling mission this year end with the help of our all the space agency. So with the startup TN funding things, and we are increasing, we are raising our funds. So hope it will work and we will show our capabilities. Thank you. Thank you so much
Fantastic.
for your opportunity, and it was a great meeting.
From Mangal Earth, this is Bhuvan Verma thanking you for sharing this video in your community, increasing awareness and spreading innovative ideas like Shakti mentioned of in a space refueling to extend the life of existing habitats that we have. The debris, reduction of debris, which may cause a cascading effect to other satellite networks also if there is an accident, and also homogenizing way of transferring fuel, homogenizing the way of needs that the industry has. So with that, we thank you for being part of the show, Shakti. You have really illuminated our thought process. Take care. Mangalar.